Today we'll be answering the question as to whether guitarists absolutely need to improvise or not. Well, however, the answer may not be as straightforward as you think. So although we may immediately conclude that yes, being able to improvise is a good thing, a hallmark of a great guitarist, we first need to understand what exactly we mean when we refer to improvisation. Alright, so what is improvisation? When we guitarists think of improvisation, we immediately imagine ourselves creating melodies, licks, phrases, and pulling notes out of thin air to create music spontaneously, sometimes magically. And while this is a very common and widespread understanding of what improvisation is, well, improvisation is defined as spontaneous creation after all. That's not all there is to it. Alright, there's so much more to improvisation. In the music making process, we aren't just creating notes, as in pitches, but we're also creating rhythms, articulations, variations in dynamics, timbre, or sound quality, and form, as in the structure of a piece of music, and so much more. There's so many elements of music that you can improvise. In this diverse ecosystem of music making activities, all of them can be improvised. So what are some other elements of music that we can improvise? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But now let's take an example, alright? So the same jazz melodic phrase can be played very fast, rhythmically, or in a slow and free tempo. Or okay? Or it could be played with a harsh and aggressive attack on the strings, or in a gentle and muted manner. There's so many variations that you can play a single melodic line. And these are just the extremes, alright? There are an infinite number of variations between them. Note that none of these examples of improvisation had to do with changing the notes played, because improvisation is so much more than that. So now let's go talk about genre-specific improvisation. Us guitarists have a bad habit of pigeonholing improvisation to specific genres. For example, jazz musicians improvise. On the other hand, classical musicians, they don't improvise, they only play from scores. Well, the correct way to express that sentiment, though this is going to be in a very long-winded manner, is to say that jazz musicians spontaneously create melodies and chords, while classical guitarists faithfully recreate the written notation or adding their own artistic interpretation to the score, thereby improvising within what is artistically accepted within that specific genre. So basically, improvisation looks and sounds very different from genre to genre. And we need to understand what improvisation means within the musical style that we are playing. So at the end of the day, do guitarists need to improvise? Absolutely yes! Improvisation is a human artistic quality, and it's what separates us as human artists from our machine counterparts. What's crucial in improvisation is to understand what good quality improvising means in your specific genre. Alright? So don't start playing your own melodies to a Beethoven sonata. And don't replicate the guitar solos of a Joe Pass version of a jazz standard. Make good music and improvise with a keen awareness of what your musical culture demands and what your audiences appreciate. So I hope that's been helpful for you, and until next time, I will see you again. Goodbye.